An agile fox attacked a lone goatling. It seems the little one has no chance, as the young animal is left unprotected by its parents. However, the predator didn't realize the challenge it was facing. The pursuit took place among the rocky terrain, and the goatling demonstrated exceptional maneuverability, hiding behind turns of the mountain trail. The fox closes in, but at the last moment realizes it's a trap. The herbivore lured the predator onto steep cliffs, where the agile goatling could stand safely on the smallest ledges. The fox retreats, realizing it would fall to its demise if it tried to reach the little one. We'll show other cases where hoofed animals proved not to be underestimated in today's episode. Typically, animals caught by pythons have almost no chance of escaping if they couldn't evade the initial strike. However, this goat turned out surprisingly strong. The python clearly didn't expect such resistance from an ordinary domesticated hoofed animal. At first, the snake managed to bring the prey down, entwining almost its entire body and starting to constrict it. Yet the beast resisted the man-carrying reptile and even managed to regain balance. Humans intervened, stunning the snake with a stick and helping the goat escape. This is not a unique case. Here, an enormous python couldn't even bring the goat down to the ground. The hoofed creature walked with the snake entwining its body. The python might not seem very large, but it's actually 3 times larger than the goat. Despite the snake compressing the hoofed animal, attempting to strangle and topple it, the herbivore fiercely resisted. Eventually, people came to the hoofed creature's aid in this case. They removed the snake and carried it away. It will seek an easier prey in the jungles. These domestic goats are clearly not suitable targets even for such dangerous predators. On farms, dogs and horses often coexist. Dogs sometimes forget that they are dealing with powerful hoofed heavyweights. Occasionally, dogs may playfully or seriously attack usually docile horses. Smaller animals may assume their huge herbivore won't retaliate. As you can see in all these cases, the dogs are dealing with the wrong opponent here. Horses give their adversaries an impressive resistance. As you can see, most often they use their hooves. A horse may bite, but only in extreme cases when truly angered. In those instances, it can literally break the spine of even a large dog. Here, an enraged horse managed the same with a wolf. The aggressive hoofed animal didn't stop and continued trampling the predator to ensure it was no longer a threat. A stallion can weigh over half a ton. That's 10 times more massive than even a large dog. So for the hoofed creature, this aggressive barking beast climbing and attacking poses no real threat. A single strike quickly brings the opponent to senses, reminding that calm behavior doesn't imply weakness. Notice how precisely a horse can kick the opponent regardless of the direction of the attack. A dog can approach its target from different sides, from behind, from the side, even from below. But the horse delivers a single, well-timed kick, and the dog simply flies aside. This precision is due to the herbivore's very wide field of vision. A horse's eyes are on the sides of its head. Although the hoofed animal assesses distance and depth worse than its opponent, it can notice attacks from various angles. This allows the horse to hit the target with the first strike, even against smaller prey, like birds. Perhaps in many cases, a dog doesn't pose a serious threat to the horse and is just playing around. That's a bad idea. The hoofed animal doesn't take the game lightly and responds to the intruder with a powerful kick. Cruel? But the horse isn't trying to inflict fatal injuries on its opponent. The herbivore is simply showing the playful neighbor who's in charge. Sometimes a horse may act aggressively out of fear. Nevertheless, provoking such a large animal is a bad idea. Particularly precise kicks send dogs into impressive flights, making them somersault in the air, tossing them away like a ram. Usually, the dog either immediately jumps up or lies stunned but alive. Which kick from the horse impressed you the most today? Share your thoughts in the comments. A herd of buffaloes grazed among the tall grass. Having an abundance of food is good, but there is a problem. The grass is so high. that even adult lions can stealthily approach their prey without being noticed. This benefits a hunting group of predators. Normally, lionesses lead the attack and drive the prey, as the large and lush manes of males quickly ruin all camouflage. But under the cover of dense bushes, this time even an adult male managed to approach the enemies without much effort. The combination of lioness' agility and lions' strength allows such united hunting squads to defend even rhinos. Do these buffaloes really have no chance? It turns out lions underestimated their opponent. They revealed their presence too early. If the predators had approached within a pound's distance, they could have lunged at the throat of one of the buffaloes. Instead, they started openly surrounding the family of hoofed animals. Lions didn't know who they were dealing with. Instead of fleeing or panicking, the lead bull stood up to fight the predators, shielding his kin. He is much more massive and heavier than the lion male. The hoofed animal has roughly a 2-fold weight advantage over him and a 4-fold advantage over the lioness. However, the 3 lions together could have overcome him if it weren't for one peculiar trait: its aggression. The buffalo didn't just absorb the enemy's attack, he actively counterattacked. The bull charged like a battering ram and tossed the predators aside. Then he applied an elegant and at the same time impressive aggressive attack. The bull didn't allow lions to unite and pounce on him simultaneously. Instead, he constantly attacked one of the predators. He ran into a head-on assault, repelling either the lion or lioness. This prevented the predators from getting close to each other for a joint attack from one side. After that, the mighty hoofed animal didn't stop, but continued running in a wide arc, attacking again and again. If an enemy approached from behind, the agile buffalo immediately turned to face it, ready to strike with its horns. The cats didn't expect such agility. Facing him one-on-one, the lions simply wouldn't dare. Thanks to the fact that the bull was mostly in motion, its already immense force increased due to the momentum. Even a buffalo male would simply sweep aside anything in his path like a leaf. Moreover, the bull continually attacked with its horns, and the powerful base was the main striking part, acting like a sledgehammer. The rapid and sharp head movements to the side could protect against attacks from the flanks using the sharp tips. In the end, the lions had to retreat. The squad, including an experienced lioness and a powerful male, left this buffalo in peace. He saved his family and remained alive. Such courage and skill deserves your like, doesn't it? Have you ever experienced sitting at the computer, busy with important tasks, and suddenly a cat comes in, lies on the keyboard, and now it's their desk, their keyboard, and basically their room? What are you doing in here? Go fetch some food and you can go for a walk, don't disturb. It seems like this fluffy intruder decided to pull a similar trick with the horse Paddock. He lounges with them, walks around, behaving as if these are his horses. However, when they start touching the uninvited guest with their lips out of curiosity, the cat leaves. But not far. Fluffy lies down again, as if claiming rights to the entire farm. However, he just didn't know who he was messing with here. This horse won't be charmed by the cute kitty. The hoofed creature simply grabs him with his teeth and tosses him away like an old rag. The cat is alive and unharmed, but shocked, running away having learned a lesson. These hoofed animals managed to resist even his charm. That's a real true superpower. Grizzlies can run surprisingly fast and pursue prey for a long time. Over short distances, they can catch up with a horse. Although their speed decreases during prolonged chases, they can pursue their prey for a sufficiently long time until it gets tired and can't resist anymore. However, the predator didn't know what it was getting into when it started chasing mountain goats. Perhaps the predator hoped that the hoofed animals wouldn't have anywhere to run, and it would be easy to quickly trap them and deal with at least one, or maybe all the goats. But the herbivores shouldn't have been underestimated. It turned out that these mountain goats are masters at finding routes between steep and sharp rocks. Catching them in a trap didn't work. After the sudden attack, instead of scattering in different directions, these goats ran after each other on a pre-selected trail. It was a very good move. If the herbivores had just dispersed, they would have allowed the bear to catch one of them. Instead, the goats decisively, quickly, but calmly followed the leader along a certain path. The goats acted so efficiently that it seemed like they had rehearsed the chase on these slopes. The bear tries to catch them and grab the last animal in the chain. The predator deserves credit here. Fast running on these narrow paths is clearly not easy for the large pawed predator, but the hunter does its best. However, no matter how determined the predator is, it loses to the mountain goats in adapting to these conditions. Their sharp and agile hooves provide excellent traction on the rocks. The goats gradually pull away, and lunch slips away from the predator's paws. On such steep slopes, the bear had no chance of catching the mountain-hoofed animals, but the bear realized this a little too late. He can still retreat without the risk of falling, but with each subsequent step, he risks slipping off the steep slope even more. Success in the chase is not on his side. A few minutes later, the goats completely escaped the pursuit. Orcas are at the top of the food chain in the world's oceans and can hunt just about anything. Fish, seals, sharks, and even huge whales. However, this time they made an unfortunate choice of a target when they attacked a gray whale family. Attacking the calves of this aquatic species is one of the orca's favorite pastimes. The calf is large enough to feed an entire group of orcas, but it really lacks the rage, the skills, and strength to put up a worthy resistance. Usually, orcas drive whale calves away from their parents, then attack from different sides, stun them, bite their sensitive fins, ram them, and hit them. The frightened calf, even though it may weigh more than a fully grown orca, loses the ability to defend itself effectively. Ultimately, the hunters simply drown it, not allowing it to resurface, interfering with the blowhole coming above the water, grabbing its tail and fins to dive deeper. However, this time, they couldn't separate the calf from its mother. The female kept her composure and didn't allow herself or her calf to be distracted, and then she switched to the best defense tactic, the attack. The mass of an adult gray whale can reach a monstrous 27 tons. This is more than the average weight of a freight truck. A tail strike from such a huge creature can instantly break the spine of even a 4-ton orca. And the enraged female gray whale delivers such blows with amazing generosity. The opponents move so fast and create such waves that it's quite challenging to discern the details of the confrontation even with an excellent angle. The female managed to shield her multi-ton calf from the surroundings, repelled a whole series of dangerous attacks, and then forced the orcas to disperse. The struggle is tense and lengthy. Black and white predators are not used to retreating. Although the adult gray whale is 7 times larger than the orca, it is also vulnerable because predators constantly relieve each other, and refreshed hunters replace tired ones. Moreover, orcas are incredibly intelligent predators who can effectively analyze the situation, understand logical connections, and are able to plan complex group actions. And if something goes wrong, they improvise quite well. However, the female gray whale managed to snatch victory even from such a dangerous enemy. She acted more straightforwardly, but knew her priorities here. The female didn't allow her calf to be driven away and brought to panic, prevented killer whales from taking her or her calves to the depths, and managed to protect both herself and her offspring from the most severe injuries. She withstood this battle and saved the offspring alone against a whole group of predators. Pretty cool, isn't it? Leopards love to hunt warthogs. Although the attacked prey puts up a fierce resistance, the strong grip of the spotted predator can crush the trachea and strangle the victim in a couple of minutes. The leopard acts swiftly, quickly knocking the prey off its feet, especially since the predator correctly targeted the youngest individual, which is easier to handle even in the presence of its kin. Fortunately, when the leopard attacked the piglet, the mother immediately intervened and rammed the predator. The carnivorous beast clearly didn't expect the female to recover from the initial shock so quickly. But the brave mother overcame her fear of the predator and went into a furious attack. She attempted to tear into this beautiful spotted skin with her large curved fangs directed forward and upward. She couldn't succeed, but she managed to achieve her main goal. Her cub is free. The leopard not only released the prey from its jaws due to the force of the blow, but also leaped into the air. She clearly didn't expect such an acrobatic feat and fell to the ground stunned. The cat had to retreat to save her life. As for continuing the hunt, they had to forget about it over here. Although the piglet was slightly stunned, the mother made sure that it could fully recover. In Africa, hippos have a well-deserved reputation as tough guys who are always ready to fight, attacking both predators and herbivores. They can even confront a rhinoceros and even an elephant. All of this is true, but at the same time, hippos are very caring and tender parents who always protect their offspring. The furious reaction to any uninvited guests in the chosen water body territory by hippos is often driven by the desire to protect their offspring. Just look at how this female carefully and gently watches over her little one. The calf feels completely safe when such a formidable guardian is nearby. The mother tries to maintain contact with him, guards his sleep, and in general behaves pretty attentively. Other members of this hippo group show no aggression towards the calf, but the mother still tries to monitor the surroundings of her little one. What if someone accidentally crushes him? This cannot be allowed. Here, the enormous strength of the female hippo had to come into play. A huge rhinoceros decided to attack her and the cub. For the hippo, the rhino was a worthy opponent. Both animals compete for the title of the second largest and strongest terrestrial animal after the elephant. Both weigh approximately 3 tons and are well protected. The hippo has thick skin that almost deflects the fangs of its enemies, and the rhino, on the other hand, is covered with sturdy horn-like armor. But they differ in terms of offensive weaponry. The main weapon of the hippo is its terrifying jaws, with which it can crush lions and break the spines of gazelles. The rhino's weapon is its horn, with which the beast inflicts terrible stab wounds, tearing the enemy's belly or throat, striking from below upward. As you can see, although it seems that the opponents are equal, the hippo is in a less advantaged position because it cannot retreat. For an effective ram and grabbing the enemy with her jaws, the hippo needs a run-up, but even one step back will expose the cub to the attack. On the contrary, the rhino doesn't need a run-up for its amplitude strikes from bottom to top. It uses its advantage, trying to pierce the female hippo's throat, strike the horn under the chin, or even damage her skull. The female hippo stubbornly stands her ground and blocks the rhino's path to her cub. She understands that the enraged opponent will ram him, so she takes the full force on herself. But at the same time, she gives a powerful counterattack, making the aggressor regret engaging with hippos. A little later, the female got back at her tormentor. When she didn't need to protect and cover her cub, she immediately gained momentum and went on the counteroffensive. The rhino didn't expect that on land, these seemingly cumbersome animals could demonstrate such speed. The female hippo clearly instills fear in this rhino, for whom this fight will probably be a very painful lesson. Such dedication and loyalty to their offspring are repaid to female hippos with gratitude. You'll be surprised, but even a very young calf can heroically defend its mother at a critical moment. That's exactly what happened here when a huge lion attacked the sick and weakened female, lying and recovering not far from the water. The predator could deal with her since she has no strength to resist. But the courageous calf leaped onto the offender. The lion is shocked by such a turn of events. The predator attacks the young hippo, which stands steadfastly and tries to counterattack. Thick skin gives him decent protection, but he is still far from being large enough to count on an unequivocal victory. Nevertheless, he distracts the lion from the mother and drives him away. Truly touching, isn't it? Share your thoughts on this story in the comments. Contrary to the reputation of vicious creatures, hyenas are caring parents. Here, a female hyena saved her cub from a pack of wild dogs. Spotted hyenas are social animals with a unique family relationship structure. However, they love their offspring and won't let anyone harm them at all. Just watch how this brave female defends her pup. She is ready to tear apart the entire pack of wild dogs, no matter the cost. Hyenas are experts in ambushing and launching group attacks. Perhaps this experience helps the female defend against a whole gang of dogs. Although the hyena is about half the size of the dogs, the numerical advantage makes the situation extremely dangerous. Despite probing attacks and dangerous assaults, the hyena withstands the siege and saves her cub from the enemies. This is one of the few mammal species with a clear and solid matriarchy. Females always rule the pack, dominating males cruelly, taking their food, and reducing them to the position of slaves. Due to a specific hormonal background, females resemble males so much that some African tribes and scientists even 100 to 200 years ago considered hyenas hermaphrodites. Female hyenas are fierce, aggressive, and very large. Also, giving birth for them is extremely painful. Perhaps that's why they dislike males and value their offspring so much. What do you think? In any case, as long as the cub is small, it is at the top of the hierarchy of the pack, cared for and protected. When it becomes an adolescent, it has two options. If the cub is female, she will find her place in the hierarchy according to her abilities, skills, and strength. If the adolescent is male, welcome to the social bottom of the hyenas. No matter how determined and strong the male is, he will never get out of that bottom. So if this female is protecting her son, the cub should be glad that he is still young. For the sake of an adult offspring, the fierce hyena wouldn't lift a claw.